Why do we suffer at the hands of these politicians? Don't you know politicians work for you?
Hey!
You're the boss. You hire them and you fire them. Look how they campaign. You know what they do? They audition.
Yeah!
When you
Hello, Talk Labor fans. We are back, and we're here to talk about some of the things that's going on in this country. You know, the United States of America had cancer. I mean, and it started 2016. We caught cancer. It did everything it could to destroy America, but you know what? We came and we operated and we took that cancer out. Did a good job. And just like cancer, it's lurking around and trying to get back in again, but we're going to destroy that cancer. And you know who that cancer is, that big orange-haired guy that sat in the White House for 4 years and tried to steal an election. Okay, we got good enough people to do that right now. But the cancer did damage, and it did damage to the Republican Party. I know that, as a matter of fact, I told people when I was at my studio downtown years ago, doing my podcast, that the Republican Party, as we know it, is no longer going to exist because you had the Tea Party that was taking over. Now, hear what I'm saying. You had the Tea Party that was taking over. What they did was they changed their name from Tea Party to MAGA. These are the same people that were saying they were Tea Party. And they were hell-bent on taking over the Republican Party. One thing that the guy said that was booted out of office was that if I was elected president, I'm going to run as he was supposed to be a Democrat at that time. I'd run as a Republican because Republicans walk in lockstep. You tell them to walk off the cliff, they'll all go. Democrats are going to ask questions, you know. So I would go in there as a Republican. And guess what? He did that. He wasn't lying. He said, I could shoot somebody at Fifth Avenue and nobody do anything about it. He's talking about murdering some of the top officials in the United States. I'm talking to FBI, I'm talking to Army, I'm talking about, this is what this guy's talking about. He's taking and getting his lesson, his information from Putin. Back in the day, Russia's leader had said, I think it might have been Khrushchev, said that we can't beat you, you know, with all of the army and stuff that you have and the ammunition. He said, but we will get inside and we will destroy you from the inside. And that's what they're trying to do. I'm putting my money on America. You got a whole lot of destroying to do to destroy this country. We're not gonna put up with that. You got some clowns now that don't know their butts from a hole in the ground. You got about 8 people over there in the Republican Party in the House that's trying to do their best to destroy this country. It's not going to happen, y'all. Take my word for it. Too many people in this country that care. It's not going to happen. And people are talking about this clown being reelected again. It ain't going to happen. I told people this the last time. It ain't going to happen. And so, you know, we pull that cancer out. We're going to destroy that cancer. We got enough medication to destroy that cancer. We got 91 to 94 indictments. That'll do it. And not only that, people are starting to see what he's all about. starting to see what he's all about. And when you talk to people, you talk. This is not a black and white thing. This is not a gay or whatever thing. You know, Republicans, you got black, you and white, you got gay people in both parties, but people try to jump on things and play on words to keep you misinformed. But people that has knowledge and common sense, you can't pull that on them. You can only pull it on people that, have a one way of thinking. But anyway, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. Get out there and vote. You know what you got to do. People say, hey, the polls show. The polls don't mean a damn thing. I always said to the people, what's a poll going to do? Pollsters said that a majority of people said it was 50-50 with this guy and Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden did all any president could possibly do in here for the people. But he said it's going to be 50-50. And then we asked, how many people did you interview? Well, we did 178 people. But you got 300 million people in the United States. You did 178, and they're going to tell you whose polls is high. That's the kind of crap y'all got to get past. The media is hell-bent on giving this clown as much time as they possibly can because they want to make that money. They've never made so much money in their life. They want to make that money. They're grabbing onto it. They don't realize that you pay for it in the end. You pay for it in the end if it goes the way that these clowns want. We're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. The United States is one of the, I think, more progressive countries. If you go back and read history, one of the best ideas that ever came up. So make it work. You've been making it work for years. Continue to make it work. I believe in it. Do we have ups and downs? Yes. Do we still have ups and downs? Yes, we do. Do we need to straighten it out? Yes. Jerry, do you hate white people because of what happened in slavery? No. It happened, but we're not going to have it anymore. It's something that we learned about. We look at the history. We want to know about it. We want to continue to learn and try to make this a better place to live. Talking about the whole world. But anyway, y'all, don't let me get on that because I'll stay on there for 30 minutes. I'll stay on there for 2 hours. Don't let me do that. We're going to go and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some of the things that's upcoming. And we're going to talk about where we are with the lawsuit that was filed. Okay? Be right back.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
The Chicago Infinite Scholars Program is back with their annual scholarship fair, October 19th, 10 to 2 p.m. and 3 to 7 p.m. at Michelle Clark High School, 5101 West Harrison Street. Don't miss your chance to apply to over 70 colleges and universities. Some schools will be granting admissions and scholarships right there on the spot. The program is free and open to all high school students, but limited space is available. Students can register right now at infinitescholar.org.
Okay, I'm back. You all know I talk to you about your money and who you are and how you got to take care of your own neighborhood. The black dollar, it doesn't circulate like it should. In your community, it's totally, totally ridiculous. Your businesses, they up and leave. And you really don't count in the economy. And I'm talking about black. Like, I'll give you a story. I like soul food, so I was going to the soul food restaurant, and I tell you what it was, Dusty's. And went in there, and I said, hey, this food don't taste like soul food. And I didn't see any black people working there. I said, wait a minute. And I went and looked in the kitchen. There were no black people in the kitchen. So it's not soul food. But your money is going to that group and it's not a soul food place. Now, there's been some studies that I say over the years that the dollars, how much you listen to this now, the dollars in the Asian community stays there for 28 days inside their community, floats around back and forth for 28 days. Stays in the Jewish community for 19 days. It floats around inside there. They use their dollar in their communities. For white, it stays 17 days. Floats around in the white community, back and forth. That's how they live good. In the black community, it floats around for 6 hours and it's gone. Meaning that you buy it, everywhere else, but in your own neighborhood. The black dollar is extremely, extremely limited, but it has a potential. If you can believe this, Black America, you have 48 million people, black people in America. Probably more than that. That's what the census says. The census says 48 million. But it's probably about 80 million because a lot of people are not going to say nothing, not going to talk to the census, But 48 million people, according to the census, in the United States. That's a power that's bigger than the majority of the countries around the world. But we don't get any benefits from that. Because you don't think. You don't think. You don't bring that money back into your neighborhood. And at some point in time, you're going to have to do that. And I'm talking to mainly your younger people because you are the people that's going to be living around here. You are the people that will, will score with that type of money in your neighborhoods. So I'm talking to you all. You got to be able to keep that money inside just for more than 6 hours, okay? Take that money and spend it around in more than 6 hours. Now, like when I moved out in the suburb that I live in, you had great places out here, sit-down restaurants. You had the Lincoln Mall. It was big, huge, more stores than the law allowed. And it was flourishing. There was a lot of money in there. But after a while, they said, oh, you know what? The roof needs repairing, so we're going to tear this mall down and we're going to send these companies, to other cities and towns. And they did. They took all the companies and sent them out, JCPenney and Target and all your other big companies and sent them out to Orland Park. And now they're getting that tax dollar, that we were getting to help supplement our schools and some of the other things. Now they're getting all that because you take all your money over there. It's easy to bring that back. Don't think it's hard. It's easy. And you're not doing anything wrong. Go out, get elected. Go out, talk to people. And when you do get elected, come back and bring those businesses back to your area. And take that money and spend it in your area. And keep it there longer than 6 hours. Okay? I'm not going to elaborate on that too long because, you understand what I'm saying. And I'll be back to give you more on that. So just take heed to what I'm saying right now. Take a look at that. See if you can't do something about it. Okay? I'm going to give you more as we go forward. Now I'll be right back.
Ungrateful, The Rise and Fall of Labor Unions is a book written by former ATU Local 308 President, Jerry W. Williams Sr. of Chicago, Illinois. What happened to labor unions in the United States? Why are they so weak? Why are unions dwindling into obscurity? After all, union workers are the backbone of middle-class America. Pick up Ungrateful, The Rise and Fall of Labor Unions by Jerry Williams Sr. at Amazon and other bookstores today.
The Chicago Infinite Scholars Program is back with their annual scholarship fair, October 19th, 10 to 2 p.m. and 3 to 7 p.m. at Michelle Clark High School, 5101 West Harrison Street. Don't miss your chance to apply to over 70 colleges and universities. Some schools will be granting admissions and scholarships right there on the spot. The program is free and open to all high school students, but limited space is available. Students can register right now at infinitescholar.org.
Hey, I'm back, and I want to talk to you about a couple of things. I'll bring you up to date on the lawsuit that was filed. But before I do that, I want you to understand this. We have a situation with the police department in Chicago, and basically around the country. This is where they're saying that there's nothing they can do to stop these crimes, and there are things that they can do. Like, say, for instance, with the carjacking. Have you seen any sting operations where they would set up a car, for people to try to get, carjack and catch some of these criminals? And then when they, criminals do things, they just walk by and let them do it. There's a reason for that. And that is that the more you fear, the more you are afraid, the more they can get anything they want out of you. Now, that's not all the police in Chicago. You got great policemen in Chicago. You do. You have great policemen. But then you got some assholes. Like that guy that's head of the Fraternal Order Police. He said this during the election. Well, if that guy wins, talking about the black guy running for mayor, if he wins, it's going to be blood in the streets. And it's going to be chaos everywhere. Only because you let it. We're paying you. Chicago is paying you $90,000 a year to protect that city. And that's what you should be doing. If you all remember how these cops were sitting up in Bobby Rush's office, sleep, and laying back while these kids were across the street, busting in the stores and stuff, doing the marches and stuff like that. They let them do it. They just let them do it. Yeah, let them do it. When they had this crazy thing downtown, when these kids came down there, acted like wild animals, and I said it, and I mean it. You had a young girl on top of a damn truck with her butt all out, dancing in there. Had it been my daughter, I'd have whipped her ass all the way home. They'll put me in jail. I'm going to whip her ass all the way home. You won't do that again. And mom and daddy, well, you all that. But anyway, they didn't do anything. They just walked peacefully down. There's a cop, letting them do it. And then there was some people jumping on a white couple, a man and a woman, beating them up. Cop walked right by them, didn't try to stop. Don't tell me that's not planned. That's silly. You're supposed to be police. You're supposed to be protecting law and order. You're supposed to be protecting people housing. You're supposed to be protecting these people that's getting stuck up on the north side, on the west side, And don't tell me I'm working too hard. There's no such thing. You got 8 hours or whatever it is to go to work and do your job. That's the police. Now, the majority of the police do that. I want to make that clear. The majority of them do that. But you got a handful that shouldn't even be on the police force. Okay? But I don't want to, hang on that too long. We're going to talk about, but you want to, put your foot down, let them know, hey, I'm watching you. Go do your job. Go do your job. And the community will work with you. Okay, let's get back to what we want to talk about now. And that is the lawsuit that was filed. And everything is going beautifully, folks. You know all the steps that we had to take. And each one has been very successful. You know that the judge did say, yeah, this should go along with the award that we got. And you know how much it was. You also know that, you had until September, I can't remember the date, to let people know that if you knew relatives that may have passed away, that they had opportunity to get their money that they were entitled to, and after a certain date that's gone. I had a lot of calls asking me about a handful of people that, did retire but didn't get anything coming back. And when I did, I asked the question: was it a regular retirement, or was it, medical? And I found out those little handfuls were disability. So, and the pension said that they were on a different plan and nothing to do with what was going on there. That was a statement from them. But anyway, that all was done. Now we went before the judge. Now the attorneys went before the judge about 3 weeks ago, because you had to go back again before the judge. 3 times you have to do that. And the judge, looked at everything, said everything looks good. And we have, out of 6,000 plus people that I filed for, you have one objector, just one. They wanted to object and stop their payment on everybody because they wanted more money. They're getting paid their money, but they felt that they should have more money. That didn't go anywhere. The judge and the attorneys and everybody else, we're not stopping anything. We're moving forward. But it's too late for anybody to be talking about objecting anything, But anyway, so on the 23rd of October will be the last date. And the judge, at that time, the judge okays everything again, and everything is smooth, which it looks like it will be. October 24th, or the day out, or whatever business day after that, the attorneys will then begin to send out the checks for everybody. Okay? If anything goes wrong, I will be on here blasting to you right away. If anything goes right, if everything goes right, I will be on here blasting to you right away. On the 23rd, you can count. When the attorneys go before the judge, if the judge says go, it's bingo, I will have it out. You will know. Okay. I went and met with our retirees this past few days ago, and had a very good time. It's my own local, and I like the idea that they've been doing this for years, congregate once a month. That's great. And what I told them is that this is great. What I did, if I come in, don't come in and act, hey, Jerry, where's my money? If you come in like that, I'm going to tell you to kiss my black. But if you come in and talk to me like a human being, I'm going to talk to you like one. You ask me questions, I'm going to give you the answers. But whatever you do, don't disrespect it. I did go in and work my butt off for the last 12 years to get this done, because I didn't like what CTA was doing. The pension plan, which is still CTA. I didn't like what it was doing. There's a lot more to this than you know. And we'll discuss this. There's a lot more. There's one thing that's hanging over the pension. I've already talked to one president. I'm going to wait and see what happens with the election. The next president's coming in. I would like to sit down and talk with that president. When I say I'm, not only me, we have a coalition of retirees. We sit down with one president, and we're very satisfied with the response we got from that president. We're going to sit down with the next president once they get through with their elections and we found out who it is. We're going to sit down with them, because there are other things that threatens our pension and threaten our livelihood. And we want to get that stopped right away so that they don't do this. They can come and screw us again. But we want to put a plug in that hole so they don't do it. We'll talk to you about that later. Okay? But right now, let's get ready to look for, and let's keep your fingers crossed. Hope nothing happens between now and then. I don't see anything happening, but you never know. And but right now, things are going all the way downhill. It's going good. October 23rd is the date. Okay? Anything happens, if the date's pushed back, if this is that, or whatever, anything happens, I'll let you know. If it's not pushed back, I will let you know. I'll beat the attorneys out. I'll get the information out to you, okay? Because I've had some great people that I ran across. Me and my buddy, Ronnie, went with me from day one. We started day one. And not one time did I call on this brother that he did not respond. So I want to give kudos to Ronnie. And you know what about that? He couldn't even get it because he retired, he wasn't eligible. But he fought for you. He helped me fight for you. All that time he helped me fight for you. So I want to just, give him some shout out. And then I want to give a shout out to my coalition. And that's the Pensioners Coalition. And these are the guys that's out to be the watchdog, have been the watchdog for the retirement plan. And we got some things that we're going to talk to you all about. We're going to ask you to come to a meeting that we're going to call. We're going to broadcast it too. But I want to thank them too. And that's Claude Funches. Everybody know Benny. If you play softball, you know Benny Rogers. And, Tommy Little, Suzette Smith, Larry Whitehead. And if I'm missing anybody, I apologize. But anyway, these are the people that, they came along maybe a year or so after I started this, and they've been hanging in there too, because they, most of them come from Local 241, with the exception of Suzette. And they were like, Jerry, I don't know. But once I showed them everything, they said, hey, we in it all fours. And they have been. I love them guys. Anytime I call them, they were there. So that's where we are. We want to make sure you can relax with your retirement. We don't want you having to fight and do this. But when we ask you to go to Springfield with us, we're going to look for you to do that. This summer coming up, we're going to probably ask you to go down to Springfield with us. Okay? We're going to go down there. Okay? All right. Then we got attorneys that's going to work with us on the project that I talked to you about. We'll talk about that later when we meet with you all. Right now, we want to know about the money. The money is on its way. And I got a little more bright news for you, but I won't give it to you until later. Okay? So if you got any questions, you hit talklabor@gmail.com. Talklabor@gmail.com. All right. Right now, I want you to check this out. These are my boys. All right? Y'all stay up. Have a good time. Love your family. Do all the good things that you should be doing. I'll see you later.
There's no rhyme or reason, we just come and mystery I've been capturing. I can feel the glow of love touching my face. When I'm close to you, there's a feeling from deep within. Only happens when I'm right here with you. Oh, we're just strangers. We know each other. And I'm so glad. Look what we discovered. Love is where you find it. Put your heart inside it. There's no rhyme or reason. It just comes and makes you weak and girl, we must believe it. What our hearts are feeling. Love is where you find it. Mystery I've been capturing. I can feel the glow of love touching on my skin. When I'm close to you, there's a special light within. It only happens when I'm lying here with you. Oh, we're just strangers, anticipating one another. We discover love is where you find it. Hey, put your heart inside it. There's no rhyme or reason. It just comes and makes you weak and girl, we must believe what our hearts can feel. Love is where you find it. Anyway, love is where you're gonna find it. Put your heart deep inside. There is no rhyme or reason. It just comes and makes you weak and girl, we must believe it. What our hearts are feeling. Love is where you find it. Anyway,
You want me to follow? Tell me where we going.